like this. And consider 5,000 years and the number of days that is, it's well over 1 million. I think that calculation is at 1.5 million. That means that if you had somebody here for 5,000 years, which is the expected amount of time you'd have before an event occurred, that gun would be handled 1.5 million times. What's the chance of the gun just going off randomly? Just like there was an article recently in the newspaper about some police being called to the school. They thought there was a shooting, it wasn't, turned out to be a false alarm, but the policeman went into the bathroom and his gun went off accidentally. So, things like putting in cameras don't decrease security. If they increase it or not, I don't know, but they don't decrease security. Making the doors more secure doesn't decrease security. But bringing a gun into the school, no matter how trained the person is, accidents occur. So you're generating a potential accident is something that's never going to occur. Now you might say, how do I never going to occur? I'll give one of you 1,000 to 1 R's. If in the next few years there's a school shooting, I'll give you $1,000. You can use it for a scholarship. I'm figurative, but I could give you $1,000. And you give me $1 if I win, then I'll win. And that's what it is. So I was really shocked. I spoke to the police officers thinking that they would be opposed to this, because my general feeling is police officers just don't want guns around. But no, they seem to support it. I said to them, but you could be here in a minute. I mean, this town is only a little over a mile outside. And the headquarters is less than about a half a mile away, and I see patrol cars all the time. Within a minute, traveling just at 30, 40 miles an hour, you could be here. I said, well, every moment counts. If you actually look at the kind of shootings that have occurred, the vast majority of them, they've been a student that pulled out a gun and shot a student who didn't want. Others have just been people who had their shoots at sporting events or somebody in the bar, or even people that just had ricocheting bullets in the neighborhood. And to give you an example of how unlikely something is to happen, I taught for 40 years at City College in New York, one of the universities there. 12,000 students, hundreds of faculty and staff, more than 15,000 people there, right in Harlem, a dangerous area of New York City. And students did get mugged coming in to school and on the subways and so on. But in that school, which is open to the public, unlike this school, that is, people just walk the streets there. The buildings are spread out on the streets all over there, and people can just walk in. There's no armed guards. We do have a guard, in each building, which he looks at a badge, he decides, tells you don't go here, go there, or who are you. But they don't have guns. A long time ago, we decided if we started arming these guys with guns, we'd probably have more shootings than we have. But we never had a shooting. No students have been shot on campus, I know it, in the last 40 years. And it's such a dangerous area, with so many people in a complex open to the public, no armed guards. And in this place that's safe, enormously safe, 10 to 100 times safer for our students than out there, with somebody now with a gun. That's disturbing to me. I realize this is a done deal. There's nothing we're going to do about it. But, and people are doing this. And when I speak to people, I say, well, the times have changed. They have. If you look at the statistics, the murder rate's driven our people before. If I ask people, I can ask you people, for instance, what's the first school shooting you can remember? First school shooting. Everybody always gives me the same answer. You think back. Except the police officer. You do that because it's statistics. The first police shooting. Anybody want to say what it is? What's the first school shooting you remember? If nobody says, I'll say it. But they don't want to say it. I go on the record. It's Columbine in 1999. The first school shooting. And since then, there's been dozens you've heard about. At least a dozen. There's Parkland, Sandy Hook, and so on. So people think that's when school shootings started, that something happened. If you go to Wikipedia, there's a section there called School Shootings Before the Year 2000, School Shootings After 2000. And between 1990 and 1999, 1999 is when Columbine occurred. In 1990, from 1990 to 1999, there was 100 school shootings, about 10 a year in the country. But nobody ever heard of them, so they didn't publicize them much. And if you look since then at school shootings, it's gone up a little bit in the last 10 years, but not enormously. Things aren't much different, it's just a perception. And I think it's, just to summarize, I think it's a big mistake that we've done in the school. You want an unarmed resource officer that can do other things, okay. With a resource officer, he'll sit there for 5,000 years before he's called upon. But more likely, some student is going to do something and maybe attack the resource officer because the resource officer tries to restrain him, and the resource officer has only one tool in his toolbox, and that's his gun. It's the only thing he's got, the resource officer. He can be overpowered by some of our larger students. So he has only his gun. If the only tool you have is a gun, the only solution you have is a bullet. And someday some student is going to go off his rocker and get shot. If it's a teacher, that won't happen. The teacher will back off.
Thank you, I think we've reached,
We-
we've reached the limit.
Almost.
Here's a one.
Thank you. Thank you. The only response I have is that our school officers are actually really good, positive members of our school community, have built wonderful relationships with our students and our families. But thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to speak on first call, second call, third call? At this time, we will close this portion of the public comments, and the board will be going into executive session. So be it resolved that pursuant to Sections 7 and 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, the following subjects be discussed at a session of the Board of Education closed to the public. And those items are attorney-client privilege, negotiations, and personnel. It is presently anticipated that the items to be discussed in closed session can be disclosed to the public when resolved. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Sadowski, second by Mr. Bazak. Would you please hold the roll?
Mr. Basak?
Yes.
Mr. Butson?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mrs. Lau?
Yes.
Ms. Sadowski?
Yes.
Ms. Young Yao?
Yes.
Mr. Bannick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. The board will now retire into closed session. I would ask that if the public would leave the room. Thank you.